Yo, 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 hope you're having a good day with nice weather. Unlike me, where it's cold and windy, the worst combination there is in terms of weather, I feel like. Since the wind just gets in your eyes, it makes them watery, and because it's cold, it makes it even more watery. Holy shit, it sucks. The only time wind is really good is, what's it called? Spring, right? Or summer? To relieve the heat. Anyways, sorry about that. A bit off topic. Today we're gonna be reacting to The Forgotten Friends of Mr. Beast by Patrick CC. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go. What's this? Sure. Uh, let's get into it.
You
I
can't
know what's
deny that
happening.
Mr. Beast has
Oops. Sorry. My volume was
figured out
super loud. I
YouTube
don't know if
better
it's loud
than
for you.
anyone
I don't think my actual headset volume
else on the
affects
platform.
recording.
Hundreds of millions of subscribers, billions of views.
Yep.
He could be one of the most famous people on Earth. But Mr. Beast
No, because only the younger generation knows him, I'm pretty sure, right? It had to be someone like Keanu Reeves maybe, because kids know him from whatever. Uh, I forgot the name. What's it called? The one where he shoots people and like he's an assassin. And the old people know him from Matrix. The Rock could also be there. Just because he was a wrestler, that's an old hobby. Then he was like wait, The Rock is in Fast and Furious, right? Yeah, you know.
lacked an on-camera
But realistically, yeah, he's only for the younger Holy shit, it's a 44-minute video. Holy shit.
personality. It's actually
I'll
been
try
one of
not
the
to cross
core
it up.
reasons why his channel is so successful. His early viral videos weren't built on emotion or storytelling or the audience deeply connecting with him on a human level. They were experiments, pure attempts to get views just for the sake of getting views.
If I were to say what's my superpower, it's that I can just obsess endlessly about something, and I can just have
So
the
just
same thoughts over and over and over and
emotionless
over again. It wasn't like it was work for me
uploads,
grinding
I guess.
YouTube for those 10 years or whatever where no one was really watching it. It's just like kind of who I am.
And because he studied YouTube so closely, he realized that the most popular creators at the time didn't just make good videos, they felt like your friend. Regular people with ordinary lives,
Yeah,
inside
per-social.
jokes, and real chemistry on camera. But Jimmy didn't have
Super per social. It's honestly a net negative. You get stalkers like that.
that, so he assembled a cast
Also, the moment you make a wrong move, because they see you as like a friend, it's like they feel more betrayed. It's super weird.
of personalities
It's a
who
net
could make his
negative.
videos feel more human. Now, some of these people were his real friends, we think. Others were there as a job, to simulate being his friend for the camera. He actually got mad at people when they treated his productions like a job. Jimmy gets uncomfortable and gets angry when people use language like production assistant, because it's too industry. Instead, they're called FOFs, Friends of Friends.
Okay, that's a bit weird. I mean, let's be honest. You grew your videos and your image so far that it is a company.
However, sometimes mixing friends and employees can end in disaster. Today, we're talking about the forgotten friends of Mr. Beast, starting with Jake Weddle, who was a major part in exposing the behind-the-scenes reality of
This is
being
the rat
friends
guy,
with
right?
Mr. Beast as a
Oh
job.
no, this isn't the druggie. This is the he put me in a room and told me to write or to film or some shit, right? He's breaking the he's breaking the Geneva Conventions by telling me to do this.
Before
Right?
meeting Mr.
that
Beast,
guy?
Jake spent nearly a decade trying to make a name for himself as a stand-up comic. So when he eventually got an offer to work as a writer for the Mr. Beast channel, he saw it as a great way to gain experience
Oh, he
and
was a
move
writer.
up in the entertainment industry. Down the line, he also started working as on-screen talent, making his first appearance in a Mr. Beast video
Wait.
about
So the videos were fully scripted? Like I knew they were scripted, like mostly, but they were fully like written out? Like even the people who were there? Like I knew the outcome and whoever wins and lose was scripted. That's like obvious. But even like There's
back
no
in
way,
February
right?
of 2019. From there, he became a relatively consistent cast member of the MrBeast crew.
That brings your total to $29.
I'll take it.
Chris, you are currently losing now.
But how much am I losing by?
$8.
And how many dumpsters has Weddle done?
2.
And how many have I done?
Hey, let me check the math with my calculator.
Hey, the 90s called. That sucks.
And even though it seemed like on camera Jake was just having a fun time with his buddies, this was just his job. And the longer he stayed, the passion he once had for the work on the channel began to slip away, as his true ambition was to become a full-time comedian, which is why he ultimately decided to step away from the channel in October of 2020. Although Jake made it very clear that his departure was drama-free and amicable.
Okay, then he came back when Beast was viewed in a bad light to bring drama.
Specifically stating that
That's
he and
weird.
MrBeast were still on good terms, even though he would later say this was a lie.
Because me and
Why
Jimmy
not?
actually left on very good terms. I met with Jimmy before I left. He understood where I was coming from. I understood where he was coming from. There's no bad vibes either way.
And despite his departure, Jake would still make occasional appearances in
weird
future
behavior.
uploads, like Hit the Target, Win $300,000, and I Spent 50
Yeah, like
hours.
this. If he was actually breaking, I could be wrong, but I do think this is the guy who talked about like the Geneva conventions and shit like that, right? And MrBeast breaking them because he told him to like write something. But there's no way he'd come back, right? After leaving, if that were the case, he was actually like abused and shit.
Prison. There was no reason to suspect that there was any bad blood between Jake and Jimmy, which is why everyone was confused when Jake participated in one of the largest expose takedowns in YouTube history against MrBeast. A former MrBeast employee who goes online as Dogpack404 made a video titled "I worked for MrBeast, he's a fraud," which included allegations of MrBeast creating
A lot of the allegations were fake, right? If I'm not wrong. Or they were like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this out here without like actual evidence, if I'm not wrong. I could be remembering it wrong though. Like some of them were true, like the signatures I think were false. I don't know about Feastables. Fake videos, that's obvious. No, actually the fake videos, he was just talking about he used like AI to change the color of like or not AI, but he edited the color of like a vehicle or something. Secret formula, I'm not sure about that.
illegal lotteries, staging
But it
and
was like
rigging challenge videos,
some
selling
truth,
fake
some lies.
MrBeast signatures on merch, and so much more. But the second video of this expose was titled, "I worked for MrBeast, he's a sociopath."
The main problem with this guy was the way he portrayed himself, like a druggie, like schizophrenic.
Which
It was really
focuses
weird.
on the alleged workplace misconduct that was taking place, and Dogpack's star witness is none other than Jake Weddle.
The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you know, you were the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay.
Jake was telling a
But you came back. That doesn't make sense. So you weren't on videos, but you were on the videos, and then he brought you back multiple times, like even after you were out. That makes sense.
much different story than before. He originally claimed that the two were still on good terms, but now he says that both he and MrBeast have a
It's
mutual
really weird.
dislike of each other. So what changed? Weddle revealed that the last video he ever filmed with MrBeast changed everything. It was a challenge that could be easily confused with torture. The video, $10,000 every day you survive prison. The premise was simple. A contestant lives in a small room for as long as they can and gets $10,000 every day they spend inside. But the initial attempt at filming this video was actually a massive failure, and Jake witnessed it firsthand because filming this video was actually a massive failure, and Jake witnessed it firsthand because he was the original contestant.
If people don't know, that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me.
Sure.
And it didn't go well.
Okay.
Jake goes on to explain
It didn't go well. You weren't interesting enough. You didn't survive long enough. So they did it again, right?
harsh conditions of the challenge, as it amounted to much more than just sitting in a room all day. The walls of the cell were freshly painted, causing a nauseating chemical smell that was unavoidable. To make matters worse, the room also had an ice cream machine and hot tub, both of which also emitted their own foul odors as the days passed. Jake also claimed that he became sleep deprived due to Mr. Beast's team refusing to turn the lights off at night in hopes of not ruining their time-lapse shots. These conditions caused Jake to be physically drained, and his symptoms.
Dude, the main problem with this is you can just leave, right? It's like he doesn't have a gun to your head telling you to do this. Like, this is something you're choosing to do by yourself.
Symptoms only got worse as the days went on. Jake was given a bonus challenge where he could win extra cash for running an entire marathon on a treadmill, and despite wanting to refuse, he felt pressured to go along with it. This resulted in him getting severe blisters all over his feet, and it.
Dude, okay. You can, sure, you felt peer pressured. Do it for a while. When you're tired, just stop. There, you did it. You failed the challenge. That sucks. Too bad. Like,
was his breaking point. So Jake.
Like, you're a grown man. You have your own brain. Sure, you can be pressured, I guess. But it's not like.
Decided to give up on the challenge.
I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out.
Now, many people defend Mr. Beast in these situations by saying, oh, they volunteered, they could have left, nobody forced them to do this challenge, and all of that is true. Then again, the entire design of a Mr. Beast challenge is structured to push people right up to their psychological and physical breaking point.
They know this, they agree to it. It's like, oh, I'm doing a challenge where I'm putting someone in like a pigsty and they're gonna be there for like a year. Do you wanna be there? Yes. Why am I in the pigs? Hey, I don't wanna be here, man. Look, the pigs are shitting everywhere. There's mud. It's like, you come in knowing what's gonna happen. And if the first part of the video is true, and it's more of a company than actual, like, some guy making videos, you probably signed a contract stating what was gonna happen, right? So it's like, dude.
Because that breaking point is the juicy entertainment you are waiting for. The best case scenario for Mr. Beast from an entertainment perspective is that the contestant is sleep deprived and starts to unravel emotionally, cries, panics, or pushes themselves physically far past what's reasonable. It's their suffering that creates the tension, the story. Imagine if someone went in there, meditated, stayed still, and didn't give in to any of the chaos that was thrown at them. That would be a boring video. But most Mr. Beast viewers believe that the suffering is totally worth enduring, considering the prize money could change your life. Actually, many people look at him as generous for creating these torture simulators for cash. But the real problem with Jake's story is that some thought he was rewriting history when everyone was dogpiling on Mr. Beast. Remember,
because he left the company. He was done with it. If he was actually being like forced into these like traumatic situations, why did he come back not once but twice? And why did he never say anything after it? Why did he only do this after like all the drama was happening? It's like it does seem like he's just dogpiling. Which, to be fair, it's what most people do when like something like big happens. They just try to get their fame by giving their side of the story with that said person.
Said, oh yeah, everything is good with me and Jimmy. And now he's saying he wasn't being paid and was being cut out of the videos.
Now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. And that's one of the reasons why I left. They always cut me out of the videos. They always, and I was, editors at home.
Dude, okay, so I think there's a maybe just because you're in a video doesn't, or you do something in a video doesn't mean you're gonna be at the end of the video. At the end of the day, what they're trying to do is make the most interesting video possible. Why would they put a guy who's like, let's say, 20% in the interesting scale, when they can put like some guy yelling, overreacting, doing all this, making the video fun? You know what I mean? It's like, why? Why would they put you in the video when there's someone else who's more entertaining?
told me
It's
that
like-
it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video.
Okay, maybe he thinks having too much of a personality is a good thing. That's actually both good and bad. Having too much of a personality can mean you're an asshole, annoying to watch. For example, that the current drama with the trans guy or girl, Nina, whatever. The one that assaulted a guy and then like now she's shoplifting apparently. Like she has a strong personality. You could say that, right? Is it a good one? No. So just having a strong personality doesn't mean it's good.
They can't
That it's entertaining.
cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought,
Ego. That
well,
sounds like
if I
ego.
have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that.
He even claimed that
Okay, so he accepted that he was gonna do something that's actually would it be considered a form of torture towards inmates that don't behave and cause problems, or a form of punishment towards them to break them in, pretty much, right? That's what solitary confinement is. So he agreed to do that.
he was let go from the company after he made a list of demands regarding payment.
I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet. And they gave me a severance check the next day.
Now maybe every
Like, again, how is this bad? Isn't this normal? Okay, I want this pay and these benefits. I can't provide you with those benefits. And the pay is too much for your skill level. We can't hire you, or we can't keep you. Like, I feel like this is completely normal.
Everything was all good between Jake and Mr. Beast until this prison challenge, and that soured the relationship. But still, many people thought he was just trying to capitalize on the trendy hate for Mr. Beast. Jake Weddle's Patreon page had been dormant for over a year, but it was reactivated on August 7th, the same day his interview with Dogpack was released.
Wow.
Jake also posted multiple videos about Mr. Beast following that interview, which racked up
Wow.
hundreds of thousands of views for his channel, and even helped his YouTube channel get monetized.
I don't want an apology, and I don't want your money. Every penny I make moving forward is going to be because I earned it. 100,000.
You can't say this after making videos about him, which by default means the money you're earning is because of him, right? Like, also the reason you activated your, what's it called, your Patreon or whatever, one of these like things after doing the video, so the people going there are also doing it because of the Mr. Beast thing. It's like, yes, you kind of earned it, but it was also given to you in a way, right?
Dollars should have been more money
Dude, I don't know.
than
I don't have
ever gonna
anything
see in
against
my
this guy.
entire life. So if
He's
you want
just
to
being
prove a
annoying.
point, Patreon in the link below.
However, Jake constantly felt the need to clarify that he wasn't doing this for fame or money.
I didn't do this for money. I didn't do this for fame. I didn't do this to jumpstart my career. I wasn't trying to be an opportunist. I actually, I held my tongue for a long time because I made the calculation that that was the right thing to do based on the information I had. And once I found out some new information, that changed the equation.
And this could have been believable
Sure.
until he uploaded a video titled "I Caught Jimmy in a Secret Recording," where he played a clip of Mr. Beast
it's AI.
saying something bad
Right.
about Jake, only to immediately say after that it was AI generated.
Jake knows what he wants. Jake knows what he thinks he needs. He just wants to be a stupid comedian.
So why would you do this? You do this because you hope people watch that part, they exit the video, leave a comment, oh my god, he's so bad, they leave. Or they just don't hear you saying it's AI, or some shit. Like, you only hope people stay with the bad part.
Jake used this to clickbait viewers. Jake used this to clickbait viewers into watching another video where he continued to provide updates on the drama between him and Jimmy.
And this completely removed all credibility, in my opinion. Because now he's clickbaiting, like, that shit.
But he doesn't actually start talking about anything meaningful until 8 minutes in the video, where he reveals text messages between him and Mr. Beast, where Jimmy offers to pay Jake $190,000 in compensation for him attempting the prison challenge. Mr. Beast said, "I have zero expectations of you mentioning me, sending you this money publicly, or taking down any videos. This is me just wanting to help out and make sure you're good." But Jake said he could not take the money.
I couldn't.
You don't take the money, because if you make a video saying you didn't take the money, you're gonna get more views, more subscribers, and ultimately you're gonna make more money than was offered, right?
I couldn't take 100, and I just couldn't take it because it's still a mechanism of the game. It's still like the rest of the prize money, and that's not what it was about. But the other consistent point I was making was when you have no money, it's not a choice, is it? I need that money, but I don't want you guys to think that that's going to change how I feel. I don't want you guys to think I'm going to go back on anything I said.
But then Jake completely contradicted himself by agreeing to take $50,000 from Jimmy under the condition that he could say whatever he wanted publicly. Some felt Jake was justified in taking the money, while others felt frustrated at the hypocrisy. It doesn't matter how much money you turn down.
Why only take 50? Just take it all at that point. Like, he said that 190 or whatever, like, it was just compensation money. You didn't have to do anything for it, right?
You take any amount, you're going to be painted as a person who had money as their motivation. When he started the video with misdirection with that AI message and then started randomly virtue signaling himself, that was a big red flag for me. It's almost as if he's trying too hard to make himself seem like a good person. He also says he is not in it for the money, but I guarantee he is cashing in on the Hate Mr. Beast wagon with views.
Yep, that's what
Whether Jake was ever truly Jimmy's...
sorry, quick pause. Are the Danish cookies, the circle ones, actually made like in India, like in bad conditions? Because I bought like those round ones, the one with the multiple ones, and I've been eating them. They taste amazing. Like, are they actually like bad for you? Like, are they like contaminated or something?
Friend is up for debate, but there is no debate when it comes to Chris Tyson. Chris was Jimmy's day one best friend. It was deeper than friendship. He is cash.
Did I skip something?
Seem like a good person. He also says he is not in it for the money, but I guarantee he is cashing in on the Hate Mr. Beast wagon with views. Whether Jake was ever truly Jimmy's friend is up for debate, but there is no debate when it comes to Chris Tyson. Chris was Jimmy's day one best friend. It was deeper than friendship. It was family, which is why when Chris was facing serious allegations of grooming and or having relationships with minors, as well as irrefutable proof that Chris was a fan of CP, Mr. Beast had to reevaluate his friendship with...
Okay, I thought he was gonna say he defended that. He defended him when people were insulting him for being trans, if I'm not wrong. He didn't... Wait, did he? I know he did like an investigation or some shit. But he was just like, dude, he's trans, whatever. Like, that was basically what he was saying.
Someone who helped build his empire from the very beginning. The overwhelming online dissection of Mr. Beast's inner circle reached new heights in 2023 when YouTuber SunnyV2 made a video called "Why Chris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for Mr. Beast."
Don't say he was right.
Chris was widely known as Jimmy's best friend since childhood. Chris was the very first subscriber to the
Let me make this clear. People say, "Oh, Sunny was right." So none of Sunny's like points, if I remember correctly, had anything to do with him being like a CP, you know, a diddler. That's what they're saying now, right? To not get demonetized. Like, it had nothing to do with that. It was just, oh, he's trans, that's gonna look bad. That was literally it, right? If I'm not wrong. It's like you know.
The Beast channel, which now sits at over 300 million subscribers, and was also regularly appearing in videos since the beginning. For the first 3 minutes, Sunny highlights Chris's sudden physical transformation, going from the image of a typical guy's guy, a gun-toting, beer-drinking, fishing...
The only real problem I see with this situation is the kid. Like, the kid, because you brought a life into this world, possibly knowing that you weren't really straight, and now you're gonna abandon it pretty much, right? Like, that's super weird, super fucked up. Same with the wife, I guess. depending if they talked about it before or something. I don't know. They're like, I'm not their friend or anything, so I don't know if they talked about it before or if she knew all that.
Country boy who grew up in the countryside of North
So I can
Carolina
say
to
it's
painting
fucked
his
for the kid.
nails, growing his hair out, and dressing more feminine, and ultimately
Growing your hair out,
Carolina to painting his nails, growing his hair
like growing your hair. Okay, maybe if you grow it out like this. Okay, no, here he had like HTR, right? That's what it's called. But growing your hair out is completely normal. Like tying it back like me, like come on.
out, and
That's also masculine if you think about it. I think the problem is
dressing
everything
more
else.
feminine, and ultimately announcing that he started HRT, or hormone
Yeah,
replacement
HRT.
therapy, which for Chris would be taking feminizing estrogen to transition his body and appearance to a female. And this was all before Chris had announced that he intended on identifying as female. This was
Go for it. Again, the problem here is the kid. Like you have a kid, man, and it's like a 3-year-old, right? Like, I remember like a picture of the mom and the kid, and it was like a little, like 3-year-old, 4-year-old.
a news story because transgender people will receive hate just for existing because many people do not agree with their life point
Which kind of happened, to be fair.
of view. They believe no matter what hormones, surgeries, or societal support they receive, they will never be the opposite gender they were born as. Whereas pro-trans people simply say you are whatever gender you choose to identify
Sure, I
with,
couldn't care
because
less
it's
about
a
each
spectrum
side, if I'm
and
honest.
gender is merely a construct created by our society.
care
Additionally, we
less.
learned that Chris got divorced.
For a little.
This is the problem. But dude, it all depends. Like, did he know he was like, or did he feel like he was trans before he got married and had the kid, or after? Because if it was before, he's completely fucked. Oh, I mean, apart from this, because he also did some other weird shit. But this is completely fucked because you pretty much led a woman to like ruining her best years with you having a child, which isn't really appealing to men anymore, or is it? Yeah, women with kids aren't as appealing anymore. But I feel like for some reason I feel like that's wrong. Like I've seen some study about how it's actually the opposite, and men now are going for women with kids more than without, right? It's probably some fake information though. So just ignore it.
A little over a year now, Meet and Katie have been separated, with this also confirming that Chris's transformation began as soon as his marriage came to an end.
This started the narrative that Chris was a horrible father who was
It is. You brought someone into this world who didn't ask for it to be brought up, by the way. You just kind of forced them into life. And now you're pretty much fucking his life over.
essentially abandoning his
Like, you could have at least, like, I don't know, like, wait a couple years. Wait until he's like a teen, at least.
wife and child so he could be a
Come
woman.
on.
And Chris responded.
This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids.
Now there's a much more objective way to look
Well, he's gonna be made fun of 100%. I know if I was a kid and I knew that, I would have made fun of him. Bullied. I don't think people actually get bullied anymore, if I'm honest. Like, I've never actually seen bullying. And I grew up in I wouldn't say it's a hood school. I mean, there was definitely graffiti. The desk had gum. They were, like, fucked up and shit. Like, they had holes through them from pencils or some shit. But I wouldn't say it was a hood school. Like, it was fine.
at why Chris's marriage may have
And
ended.
yeah.
It's not like people
What I'm trying to say is he's probably not gonna get bullied. The kid is probably not gonna
just
get
wake
bullied.
up one day and
He's
decide to
definitely
be
gonna get married,
trans.
fine.
It is a deep decision that they contemplate internally for years. So revealing that information to his wife and child would have been a shock to 99% of relationships, which was said best by Dante.
That's crazy because that comes into like, how long did you know? Did you know about how you were like as a person?
See, he's probably gonna say what I said. if he knew about this before, it's fucked up. If he knew about this after he married and had the kid, or like he thought about it after, it's still fucked up. You should still prioritize the kid's safety and well-being over your personal like wishes. Wait a couple years when he's like grown up and do it.
Before you put a ring on this woman's finger.
The only reason I can see like divorcing someone when you have a kid is if you're in a toxic relationship, since that's a negative for the kid and yourself, and you can fuck over the kid more like that than having a divorce.
Did you know who you were as a person before you had that child with her? Because now you have involved 2 other people into this.
Imagine literally any other secret your significant other hides from you for years. That would cause problems. So considering changing your gender would probably be at the top of the list of most important discussions to have before getting married and having children. This has become so common to the point where there is an organization called Straight Partners Anonymous, a support organization for straight heterosexual people who discover or are told that their partner is LGBT and need help in coping with this discovery.
Wait, I don't understand. So you have a partner. If they're lesbian, you should know, right? Because you're a girl, they're a girl. If they're gay, then well, you're gay. You're a guy, and they're a guy. Like bisexual and transgender, sure. I don't really see a problem with bisexual though. Because bisexual just means you like both men and women, right? It doesn't mean you're like in an open relationship or something. Right? Or am I going crazy? Transgender, you should probably tell your partner. Not probably, you should tell your partner.
And support in their decision about what to do next. At the time, many people labeled Sunny V2's video as nothing more than a transphobic hit piece, even though today many others say that Sunny V2 was right all.
No, he wasn't. Like, the video had nothing to do with the... fuck, I wish I had a great memory. The video, if I'm not wrong, but how I felt when I saw it, is that 90% of it was, oh, he's trans, that's bad for your image. Which technically it is. But it had... It's like a... Let's put myself as an example. That Miss Queef guy. The first time I watched him, I absolutely hated him. The way he talked, the way he looked with the thing in his eyebrow, the way he acted. Like, I absolutely hated him. Now, it comes out that he was a bad guy. He was beating his girlfriend and shit. Allegedly. Am I right? No, I'm not. I'm not right just because he did terrible things. You know what I mean?
Along, considering what you're about to learn, because Chris Tyson's past was about to be revealed and it was so much worse than anyone could have predicted. A video released 1 year after Sunny V2's called This Video.
Dude, fuck! It's like... not about this, about the other thing. It's like... Could my memory be fading me? The video was, like, only a bit of it was right, which was about the wife and the kid. The rest was just, oh, he's trans. That's bad. That's gonna fuck you over. Right? Like, he didn't talk about this shit or the other, like, bad practices that he did. He only talked about, like, the wife and how he's trans, and that's bad.
Video will make you hate Chris Tyson, which documented Ava, formerly Chris Tyson, and her history of suspect behavior on the internet, most notably with her ties to Shadman, an infamous lolicon artist who made NSFW artwork of real-life children, such as Keemstar's daughter and the actress Daphne Keane. Some people...
Okay, so he got a real kid... child, underage person, and drew her in fucked up positions. And he's not in jail? Because at that point, you're kind of like, have I not been in the internet enough? Like, no. That's not even lolicon. That's just straight up pedophilia, no? Like, you're getting a real person and drawing them in...
People try to defend Lolicon, but
I'm
it is
guessing
quite
he
literally
did get jail time, by the way. I don't know, but I'm guessing he did. There's no way.
Animated CP. It was
Yep.
revealed that Chris purchased a piece of art featuring a young girl from Shadman.
bonus
She
50
showed off the
spinners.
poster on Twitter and even admitted to hanging it up in her living room. And to be clear, this wasn't a one poster on Twitter, and even admitted to hanging it up in her living
In her living room? Who's his wife?
room. And to be clear, this wasn't a one-time occurrence. Chris frequently engaged with Shadman's artwork on Twitter and even accidentally opened his website while live streaming.
Why isn't he in jail? I don't... Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. Because if I had a daughter, and someone drew her in, like, doing inappropriate things, I would go straight to the police. I would sue them to hell. Also, wait. Keemstar had a daughter? Okay.
Maybe they're bank
Sure.
fraud.
You're not sure.
No. No. Oh, that was almost really bad.
And if it couldn't get any worse, Ava also had a track record of posting vulgar tweets about being turned on by child characters in explicit situations. Now, Shadman's art specifically was considered to be a part of 2010's meme culture that countless YouTubers praised, ironically. Edgy humor was also much more common in 2017.
Well, back then, people were trying to, like, one-up each other in terms of edginess. So yeah, sure, like, there were racist jokes, Jew jokes, like, 9/11 jokes, like, everything. People were trying to be, like, as edgy as possible. Still, like, that doesn't explain, like, it's a real person. Like, if you're just drawing, like, a random, like, I mean, it's still weird drawing, like, a kid in, like, a weird positions. That's still weird and fucked. And you're pretty much a CP. But, like, doing it with the... Like, you're getting an actual, like, living, real human kid and doing it. Like, I feel like that should be a crime, if it isn't already.
And you could argue that Ava's
What the
tweets, while crude, could just be edgy jokes. But these tweets were only the tip of the iceberg. Adrox's video drew more attention to other videos calling out Ava, particularly one made by the YouTuber Prism42. In this video titled, Chris Tyson Talked Inappropriately to a 13-year-old, Prism attempts to shed light on Ava's previous
By the way,
interaction.
this is the reason, I don't think 13-year-olds, anyone under 20 should be in the internet, if I'm honest. It's just, you shouldn't have a computer at all. You can be outside with your friends, man. With friends your age. Holy shit.
With a minor with the username LavaGS. LavaGS's age is proven to have been around 13 years old when the two began speaking. We get examples of
Oh, is
Ava
this the guy who
interacting
took
with
to, like,
Lava
the
on
woods or
Twitter, and we
something?
certainly see
It was really
conversations that are
disturbing.
inappropriate considering the age gap.
Chris, does she know about your hentai
lips
addiction?
are
And that's the thing, is this guy, at this
shocked.
point, he would have been
That's what they're
14 years
called.
old. This guy is asking you these questions, and you were talking to him when he was super young. How does he know this? I don't know.
Prism then provides a handful of examples of inappropriate conduct, such as an old tweet from Ava that reads, "Guys, we are so close to our goal. Oh my god. One more Patreon and I'm releasing my nudes." Lava responded to this tweet, announcing that he was subscribed to the Patreon, to which Ava says, "But not $5?
So, if I'm not wrong, they were chatting before this on Discord or some shit, right? So, like, he knew he was underage. He said this. He put a fucking...
Pathetic. JK. Kissy face. Check again, Lava says. Chris says, "I posted some fire nudes for you.
there should be enough
Please no
evidence, I feel
share."
like.
It's not hard to see
No?
how an adult talking to a child in this manner, even if it was a joke, is inappropriate. The two even privately communicated on Snapchat.
Dude, talking with a random kid is already weird enough. Like, why are you ever, like, talking to a kid at all? In the internet, that is. Because, yeah, you can have, like, a niece or, like, a sister or whatever. But it's like...
spoke one-on-one in
It's so
Discord
weird.
calls, and the two even met up in person when Lava was 16 years old.
Chris Tyson, who is interested in both men and women since he was 13 years old and Chris Tyson was in college, why did he take a camper van out to see him and take it out in the middle of the woods in this secluded area?
Sorry, it's a bit out of nowhere, but this is a pretty nice park, no? Like even the grill has a, I guess those are normal rocks, huh? It's pretty nice overall. There's nothing like, there's no leaves anywhere. It's really well taken care of.
And take
Sorry
it
to be
out
off
in the middle of
topic.
the woods in this secluded area.
Prism was able to learn all of this from a personal conversation he had with Lava, who directly denied any kind of grooming took place. Lava also clarified that the meetup was with other Mr.
Sorry, which one is like Eva or whatever her name is? Abba? It's him, right? Anyways, isn't a problem with a lot of grooming victims that they don't think they were groomed? Because they're made to believe that's what they wanted? Isn't that like one of the main problems?
Mr. Beast
with it?
crew members and his parents were present.
It's
Prism's
like
video
you
undeniably
tricked them into
heavily
thinking
implies that Ava is a child predator and groomed Lava,
nothing
and
wrong
that's the
happened.
message that almost everyone who watched the video walked away with. Dude straight up flirting with this junior high schooler. Try not to talk to children inappropriately challenge. Quite literally impossible for some people. However, Lava, the alleged victim, had a different perspective on the situation, publicly stating that Ava had never exploited or taken advantage of him. Lava has since changed his story, agreeing that what Ava did was wrong.
Yeah. But, like I said, this is what happens with a lot of grooming victims, though. They believe everything was correct, like nothing actually happened. Then one day they're like, wait, this is grooming. Wait, I was groomed. What the? Like they come to the realization that it did happen.
Wrong, but still rejected the idea that he was groomed. Ava spent some time silent away from social media, but ultimately was forced to respond, although her statement on the issue was considered to just make everything worse. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family.
This isn't really what family? You fucked your family up. Like your kid's completely fucked up. Your wife that spent with you for probably years is also like fucked up.
And mental health.
And mental health. Dude, don't become the victim if you're gonna apologize. What the fuck?
Want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these accusations, Lava, has vocally supported that
He has also written that you did do inappropriate things while he was underage. I said 1837. Let's see if 1837. This stuff was inappropriate and wrong. He didn't write a lot, to be fair. Anyways.
to anyone I have hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who may feel betrayed by how I
You are
used to
doing
act
inappropriate
online.
and
To
wrong
lump
things.
these two factors together to create
That's
a
what he
narrative
said
that my
himself.
behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In past years, I have learned that my old humor is
But it did extend beyond edgy jokes because you brought him like face to face, right? And then there was that story about the van in the woods. I'm not sure what happened there, or if that one was proven false, or if it's real. But it did happen.
not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why I have stepped away. However, many still have
Again,
the
it's
belief
like
that
you're using emotion. It's like, oh, I don't want to impact them. It's like, no.
Ava was a predator,
Like,
saw
why
this
are you bringing
statement
other
as
people into
insufficient,
it?
and was met with overwhelming backlash. Yikes, lol. Your apology is not accepted. You belong in jail.
True.
This is what Mr. Beast
This
had
is
to say
correct.
about his day one best friend. Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel.
By the way, this is useless. Hiring a third party, all this, it's useless. If the third party finds you innocent, well, guess what? It's like the FBI. Oh, we investigated ourselves and found nothing wrong. Are you gonna? And then if they come guilty, well, you're fucked. Your company's fucked. Because now, oh yeah, he knew this. Everyone actually knew he was doing this. Like, no matter the outcome, it's a net negative.
And any association with Mr. Beast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct.
Also, people won't believe they're independent or third parties. They're gonna think they're people hired by you, so they're gonna do what you say.
A comprehensive investigation and will take any further actions based on their findings. From a PR perspective, this statement checks all the boxes necessary.
Yep.
However, Mr. Beast and Ava's relationship was more than just a business.
This might check the options legally. It does not check it on the internet though.
Business partnership. They were supposed to be friends, but even good friends recognize.
Answer in the bad eye of the internet. Everything you say is a lie, basically. You're lying before you're telling the truth.
When one of them is wrong, and holding them accountable for their actions is normal. However, there was some leaked information from Ava's friend Erit that suggested Jimmy might have tried saving Ava's career. Mr. Beast recently signed a massive Amazon deal. They began working together to create an Amazon Prime original game show called Beast Games with a cash prize of $5 million. Now, Mr. Beast before this was pretty much known as having a perfect reputation, so Amazon could have never predicted this absolute PR nightmare they were facing. So it wasn't unrealistic when we heard a rumor that Amazon may have had a hand in the removal of Ava from Mr. Beast's channel. An anonymous account claimed that Mr. Beast and Amazon are trying to cover up the Ava drama, and they had the receipts to prove it, in the form of a handful of screenshots from Ava's partner, Erit, addressing the situation in their Discord server. Erit claims that Ava wanted to write a much longer, more detailed and nuanced response towards all of the allegations she was facing. Erit also claims that they were the one who actually typed the tweet as they took over Ava's Twitter account to help her quit social media. Erit said, "I had protested at how terrible the tweet."
Yeah, I can believe that. I think that's actually done often, where it's like, instead of you actually replying, you get a PR trained person to reply instead, or make like a statement.
Was and asked if it would be possible to change some words like "if I offended" and the word,
especially if you did something illegal, like what is said she has done or he has done. You'd usually go to like a lawyer, a PR trained person, like multiple people before actually sending a tweet, especially if you have a contract with them.
Permanently, but in a room with Jimmy Beast, the Mr. Beast CEO, Mr. Beast COO, and Ava, I was told, no, we cannot change it and we have to run it by the investors. We need to say that. But I couldn't help but notice this little detail Erit left in there about Mr. Beast. They wrote, "I posted the tweet. Jimmy and the CEO had tears in their eyes." If this was true, this showed that in spite of everything that happened, Mr. Beast still cared deeply about his friend and was willing to find a way to make it work with Ava regardless of the world treating her as guilty. Erit also claimed that Mr. Beast later had a change of heart and realized that they hadn't done enough to stand up for Ava. He comes over with the COO and we develop the follow-up tweets together with Ava.
No, that doesn't make sense. You did enough here, like defending it when everyone was talking shit about her for being trans. I think that's enough. Like after all this weird shit came out, now you can't defend this, man. What the fuck?
During this drafting process, Jimmy tells me, "We're so lucky we have you to help us with this. We've never had to go through anything like this before." I respond, "Yeah, I really wish you had let me help you with the first tweet." Jimmy then replied, "Yeah, we kinda did mess up the first one." Additionally, Mr. Beast revealed the findings of the 3-month investigation into his company. The investigation found no evidence to support.
Exactly. You don't find any evidence? Oh, it's a lie. You investigated yourself and you didn't find anything. Ha. Surprising. You did find something? Oh shit, you're fucked up. You're a disgusting company, YouTuber shit. Like
or allegations of sexual misconduct, grooming, or the company knowingly employing individuals with dangerous or illegal histories. However, investigators did identify isolated incidents of workplace harassment and
by the way, you should probably not put this one. Just put these two, because they're like technically there is sexual misconduct with her, right? Because she made or him. He made inappropriate jokes about with a 16-year-old, 13-year-old, which has been confirmed by the 13-year-old, and she also confirmed it, if I'm not wrong, in the tweet.
Misconduct, which led to disciplinary actions and new corporate policies aimed at improving professionalism and company culture. The public responded to this,
unless it was done after she was fired, maybe, I guess,
with, "We've investigated ourselves and found ourselves innocent." No way. The guys you paid found you innocent. Regardless of how you might feel about Ava and her alleged behavior, it's easy to see how it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for Mr. Beast. Turning his back on his closest friend would paint him as a bad friend, but defending her would tie his reputation to accusation.
No. You defend people when what they did was right, or when they didn't do anything really wrong, and you don't defend them when they do something wrong. Like, I don't see any problem with him defending his friend when people are shitting on him for just being transgender or whatever. And I don't see any. Well, I guess he technically did defend them here. Like, this is the problem. Like, defending them when all this shit happens and there's like proof and shit.
No public figure can afford to stand next to,
defend
and maybe
right,
even make himself complicit
wrong.
In her behavior. Even after leaving the MrBeast channel, Ava has continued to be the subject of scrutiny. Other individuals have since come out claiming to have interacted in a similar manner with Ava, and entire logs of her old Discord server have been leaked. The logs show exactly what you'd expect: inappropriate conversations with kids who are too young for her to be talking to. And since all of this came to light, Ava has entirely disappeared from the internet, and it's easy to see why she may never come to light. Ava has entirely disappeared from the internet, and it's easy to see why she may never come back. But during the fallout with Ava, another former MrBeast friend featured on the channel, Jake the Viking, went as far to say that MrBeast knew about who Ava was the whole time. Then again, Jake attacking Ava unleashed some skeletons in his own closet. Before he ever met MrBeast, Jake the Viking was just a small YouTuber trying to make it on the platform. He uploaded vlog-style content that focused on himself having fun with his friends. And it's clear when watching his earliest videos, Jake was a natural entertainer, but he never could have predicted that a massive YouTuber would take notice of his potential.
That certain someone had just subscribed to me on YouTube, and wanted to share that. It's actually really cool. So I look up to this guy because he's awesome.
Nice.
So if you look right up there at the top, Mr. Freaking Beast, subscribe to me on YouTube. Shout out to you, man.
MrBeast didn't just want to keep up with Jake's videos, he wanted him to be a part of his own content. That's why Jimmy ended up hiring Jake full-time as on-screen talent. From 2018 all the way through 2019, Jake the Viking became a regular member.
Wait. If he knew, MrBeast knew, does that mean he knew as well? Or am I being dumb? Like, for him to know that MrBeast knew means he found out as well. So he knew. No?
The MrBeast crew.
Jake isn't subscribed to PewDiePie.
Wait, no way. Jake, stop. Jake, let me see it. Jake!
He stood out thanks to his intense and overly enthusiastic personality and became a fan favorite amongst viewers of the channel. He was always cracking jokes, smiling, and seemed to be more than just a new face in the videos, but a genuine friend of the other members. This is why so many were confused when Jake eventually disappeared from the channel. Last featured in a video uploaded in January of 2020, Jake was absent for months, and there was no acknowledgement from anyone in the videos about where he had gone. But eventually, Jake the Viking had posted a video on his own channel revealing why he left the MrBeast crew. Supposedly, after the hide-and-seek video, Jake was never asked to feature as on-screen talent again.
And so all that went on till super...
If he's actually like a really good, Did I hear a gunshot after a dog barked? There's no way, right? I mean, the dog stopped. Okay, no idea what happened, but he was actually like a fan favorite. Yeah, it is pretty weird to like remove him
recently,
unless you change the type of content you're doing, because it seemed like when he was here, they were doing more like physical things, right?
When finally I was able to meet down with a couple people and kind of put everything out on the table, and it came down to my piece no longer fit the puzzle.
This wording is particularly interesting. Mr. Beast videos are so successful partly due to the friendly dynamic shared between him and the people that were supposedly his friends. But to say that his piece no longer fit the puzzle is one of the coldest, most corporate ways to describe what was happening behind the scenes. And this is the moment almost every Mr. Beast friend of—
Oh, it's like, well, the video started off as, you know, like friends doing videos together, right? Well, technically it didn't. It started off as him, Mr. Beast, just trying to get views, right? That's what he said. Then it became like friends doing like dumb shit. But it grew too much where it's not friends, it's a job now, right? So they're not really friends, they're co-workers, if anything.
Eventually reaches the slow realization that they were never truly part of a friend group, they were part of a production. Jake even talked about how he was disappointed whenever he was cut out of the videos, which might seem trivial or just standard business practice, but it hits deeper when you believe you're contributing to a friend's channel. Being erased from a video doesn't just mean losing screen time, it makes you question whether you were ever valued as a friend in the first place.
I'm not really a fan of this like interpretation. It's like at the end of the day, the video has to be, or the video is made to be the most interesting it possibly can, right? So if let's say you want to make a 10-minute video, you can't really have everyone's reaction, everyone's POV. You know what I mean? It's like someone's gonna get cut out. That doesn't mean you're not friends. That doesn't mean you're like lesser than the one who did get in, right? You just didn't happen to be as interesting in that time, right?
It's a dynamic we see over and over. People who joined the channel and were convinced that they were friends or maybe even family, only to discover later that they were just employees filling a role. Whether Jake was genuinely close with Jimmy or simply part of a business operation is unclear. But when Jake announced his exit, he wasn't overly dramatic, he wasn't angry, he kind of just chalked it up to a mutual decision.
And so it was pretty much like a kind of a mutual parting.
Okay.
You know, me and Mr. Beast, or me and Jimmy did not have any.
This happened here as well with this guy. Let me guess, views down or maybe?
Type of falling out. There was no argument. There was no bashing. There was none of that. It was very mutual because it was something I was already contemplating, you know, not if, but when.
Leaving a channel like Mr. Beast meant that his future as a creator was uncertain, but Jake the Viking was able to build an extremely successful platform of his own. At the time of uploading his video announcing his departure from Mr. Beast, he was sitting around 30,000 subscribers, but by October of that same year, Jake hit the 1 million subscriber milestone. This really proves that Jake was such a massive fan favorite in the first place. His personality and natural talent allowed him to be successful without Mr. Beast's help. Publicly, Jake the Viking remained cordial with Mr. Beast and the crew for some time. However, this would change when negative sentiments began growing against Ava Chris Tyson. While live streaming, Jake was asked about his old friend and what he thinks about their new lifestyle.
Let him do his thing. I don't care. My personal opinion, think it's weird, but whatever. I never expected it to happen, but what?
And that's the normal opinion, right? Oh yeah, you became trans. That's weird, but who cares? Hey, it's not gonna affect my life at all.
Whatever, man.
Like
Everyone, my biggest belief, and this is something y'all should always believe, that y'all should follow. Everyone deserves to be happy. Everyone deserves life is so full of up and downs. At the end of the day, everyone deserves to be happy. If Chris doing this transitioning to become a woman is making him happy, cool.
Others were a lot more aggressive about their.
Yes, but you have a kid, and the kid comes before you. You can be happy after your kid's happy, and you know he can like step out in life.
Feelings towards Ava. Nick Merckx tweeted, "You should be ashamed of yourself, leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done." Surprisingly, Jake the Viking quote tweeted this and agreed with the sentiment that Ava had abandoned her son. Then Jake the Viking revealed more information about what actually happened that led to the departure from the Mr. Beast channel. He tweeted, "Fired from Mr. Beast for doing a brand deal with a CBD company. Is told he can make a video explaining why he's no longer there, but it has to get approved. Video blows up and then disappeared because instant suppression by YouTube's Golden Boy. Continues to make content even though videos aren't getting shown, i.e. no one gets notified of uploads. Notice how this is almost the exact same situation as Jake Weddle. They initially announced that they left the channel and everything was all good. Then all of a sudden Mr. Beast is in controversy and now they come out of the woodwork and say, here's more context that I never revealed. Jake's growing negative sentiment against Mr. Beast would reach a boiling point when all of the allegations against Ava Chris Tyson came to light. Jake started going even harder on both Ava.
He has such nice hair, man. Like, I wish my hair was that nice.
Mr. Beast tweeting, the silence is deafening, no accountability, none. Jimmy knew. Jake the Viking had become one of the leading figureheads of the anti-Mr. Beast and Chris Tyson sentiments that were growing at the time, and his position as a former employee gave him more credibility for his position. But this is where Jake Weddle comes back into the picture. Jake Weddle revealed that there was a Mr. Beast employee named Delaware, who was a registered offender, something that was known internally but never addressed publicly. To make things worse, he was Jake the Viking's brother-in-law and former manager.
Well, there was a known offender, registered offender, convicted offender on the registry and everything who worked there.
Why are you censoring it? Like, you also like muted a part, but then you like left out him saying sex offender, right? It was like, oh, maybe he muted the name, the actual like name.
But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware.
Longtime Mr. Beast viewers were familiar with Delaware, and Jake even directly acknowledged that he was his brother-in-law in a tweet from 2018. This was an optical nightmare for Jake the Viking. For the past few weeks, he had become one of the largest voices calling out Ava Chris Tyson for what many considered to be predatory behavior. But in reality, Jake had closely associated with and even hired a registered sex offender who took advantage of an 11-year-old. Statements like Jimmy knew had aged extremely poorly, and in the face of unrelenting backlash, the Viking was forced to respond. Here's the truth. Yes,
the Delaware shit was so weird because like they all knew. Like, that shit's fucked completely.
Delaware is my brother-in-law. Yes, he is an RSO. When he was 21, a 16-year-old girl accused him and others of SA when she was 11. Delaware took a plea deal. That's why there was no jail time, but he still had to register. Delaware's charges are set to be dropped this fall. Delaware has been nothing but a good person, an amazing husband to my sister, and the best father to my 2 nieces that I could ever ask for. They want no part in this.
When he was 21, a 16-year-old accused him of murder and others of sex when she was 11. Okay, so he came out at 16 saying it happened at 11, right? Yeah. Okay.
And want to just live their lives away from the limelight. I understand why anyone would be frustrated over these allegations, and I do not.
I thought he was saying she was an 11-year-old who came off as a 16-year-old. Or who like lied about her age, saying she was 16. And I was thinking, wait, 16 is still illegal. That's not an excuse. 16 is still illegal, man.
Not blame them. Okay. Hurting kids in any way is completely unacceptable, but in the case of Delaware, I firmly believe he did nothing wrong and look forward to the day these charges are dropped. Now, taking a plea deal is much different than just like a settlement, because you are admitting guilt, but you're just hoping for a lesser sentence or punishment. Someone would only take a plea deal if the odds were stacked against them legally. SA crimes
I'm not a law guy. I can't really talk about this.
Are particularly difficult to prove due to their reliance on both physical evidence as well as establishing a lack of consent. Obviously, consent is impossible in a situation like this, meaning that the case would rely solely on physical evidence, which begs the question, was there physical evidence? And if there wasn't, why would you take a plea deal? It's hard to imagine.
I'm guessing pictures, because if the way the tweet is worded, it's been from 11 to 16, that's 5 years. No real like bruises are going to be shown in 5 years. So it has to be pictures, right?
Imagine that Delaware, in the face of a baseless allegation, would prefer to accept a plea deal rather than facing trial and exonerating himself. This led many to believe that there was enough evidence to provide a conviction. People simply weren't buying Jake the Viking's story, not to mention...
Okay, to be fair, I don't want to defend him, but it's also possible that he was just afraid and folded under pressure and he just signed it. But then again, no, there's no way. Can you sign that without a lawyer present? I don't think you can, right? Yeah, there's no way. I think you need a lawyer present when you sign like papers like that in terms of the police, right? So yeah, yeah. He signed it probably knowing. Because I was thinking, well, he could have signed it without actually like knowing, because he's not a lawyer. He's just a random like YouTube guy. Oh, and never mind. That's not the backing. He's just like a random guy. But he probably had a lawyer who like actually went through with it. So yeah, it's weird.
And that he was happy to call out predatory behavior when it benefited him, but now he was seemingly making excuses for it and brushing it aside. Jake the Viking constantly tweeting about how Mr. Beast knew about Chris Tyson being a creep, only for it to come out that his own brother-in-law who worked for Mr. Beast is a literal offender, which Jake knew, is so funny. Just like that, everyone was turning on Jake the Viking. The good grace he'd been receiving in the recent weeks was already completely gone. He once left the Mr. Beast crew on good terms and was fondly remembered for his contributions to the group, but now he's remembered for his hypocrisy, messy falling out, and association with an RSO. Today, he still uploads content to his YouTube channel regularly, but barely cracks 1,000 views per video. He has seemed to develop a large enough following to sustain his life and career as an influencer. He's kind of just a general content creator these days, live streaming, making Instagram videos and TikToks, all while generating income through affiliate links and brand deals. But his identity online will always be tethered to once working for and being friends with Mr. Beast. The same cannot be said for Sneako. Mr. Beast was actually a fan of...
He worked for him? The only thing I know about this guy is that people call him a cuck. And I don't even know if that's true. Like, I've never actually like watched his content. Because people also call others like bald as a joke. I don't know if they're calling him cuck as a joke or if it's actually like true.
Sneako at one point and offered him a job years after he surpassed Sneako in subscribers. However, their falling out was much different than everyone else on this list. Before Mr. Beast was known as the big...
Dude, isn't it so funny that your entire like name can be glued to something like being a cuck? Like, people can not know who you are at all, but just know, oh yeah, Sneako, that sounds familiar. Oh yeah, cuck.
Biggest YouTuber on the planet, he was just a kid obsessed with the platform, posting literally anything to develop a subscriber base. More often than not, he was providing commentary over video game footage, which was extremely popular in the early 2010s.
What's up, guys? I just bought a new microphone, the Blue Snowball, for around $60 off of Amazon. And if you've seen any of my older videos, this mic sounds like 30 times better than my old mic.
Another aspiring YouTuber following a similar...
That sounded probably worse than my current mic, right? And this is just a cheap headphones. Some cheap headphones.
path as Jimmy was Nico Balanthese, better known today as Sneako. During this time, it was common for smaller channels to interact with each other in the comments and build connections, and that's exactly how Sneako met Mr. Beast.
So you guys actually met on Call of Duty or the YouTube Call of Duty?
We met through like comment sections.
The two began collaborating with each other and featuring on each other's channels. In fact, Mr. Beast directly shouted out Sneako in a video titled 5 YouTubers I Think Will Be Famous.
At number 2, I have Sneako, and if you've ever seen Sneako's videos, you realize that they're kind of addicting. Once you start watching them, it's kind of hard to stop.
I mean, to be fair, he wasn't wrong. He did become famous. Maybe not for the right reasons, though.
I don't know what it is about him. It's just, he's so straightforward with things, and he's not biased on anything. He'll let you know anything that's on his mind.
Wait. Okay, the video is called The Forgotten Friends of Mr. Beast. I don't think he's forgotten, right? Or maybe he is, because the only thing I know about him is him being like a cuck, right? But me knowing that he's a cuck, or there's like something, like a joke about him being a cuck, means I remember him.
And I'd never miss an upload from Sneako. I don't really know how to explain it, but he pretty much uploads videos similar to Eddie the Chump, just they're really well put together and really well thought out. I don't really know how else to explain it, besides just telling you to go watch his videos.
While Mr. Beast was still discovering exactly what he wanted to create, Sneako was going for something with more meaning, a deeper purpose, which since the very beginning was centered around social commentary mixed with personal reflection. Some viewers felt Sneako was wise beyond his years. Others felt he had a I'm 14 and this is deep kind of vibe.
I don't wake up and think, how could I not be a douchebag today? I wake up and think, who can I piss off the most? Most of you have extremely up thoughts that you don't say out loud because they affect your
Is that
persona.
a
I'm guessing
wig,
at least more than
or-
half of you are closet racist, and even some of you kind of wanted me to go home at some point. I was born here, by the way. Please don't deport me, Mr. Trump. Probably more than half of you have some more gay thoughts than you'd care to admit, and at least 1/3 of you have spent some time on the really sketchy parts of the internet. Weirdos. The reality is most of us are going to spend our lives wondering how everyone else is going to see us instead of improving ourselves for ourselves.
His channel was growing extremely quickly, and he was on pace to become a large creator, but then he quit. Not 100% necessarily, but he went from uploading multiple times a week to just a couple times per year. And in that time, Mr. B uploading multiple times.
Would you report your...
times a week to just a couple
so he
times
did,
per
rage
year.
bait
And in
videos.
that time, Mr. Beast went from being Sneako's fan to having over 5 million subscribers.
We're so close. We're almost. Wow. Oh. We're almost 5 million subscribers. Wow. I can't believe it. 5
The two reconnected, and Mr. Beast flew Sneako out to his headquarters in North Carolina, gave him a job, and showed Sneako the empire that could be built on YouTube.
And I went and worked for him in North Carolina, and then I really saw how it was possible to be a content creator. He changed my mind. He was the first person to really, if you talk to him off camera, he'll like talk about all this Matrix stuff just in different terms. I remember going to restaurants and stuff like that, and he was just so rich at 19. He had an entire company, he had a warehouse, people working for him, and it wasn't even, I didn't even think it was possible to do that with YouTube. I just saw YouTube as a way to turn on a mic and camera and
Wait, so he wasn't getting money for these videos? Because back then you could still get money, right? In like these videos here?
once in a while.
I guess you had to be signed up to like a machinima or whatever it was called, or like a company like that.
Had systems in place. He had employees.
To get monetization.
He was running it like a bit, and I'm just like, this is the potential of YouTube. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, you drop out of school.
Yeah.
He told me just that blatantly. Yeah, drop out. Like, why would you go to school and get student loan debt to go and be an intern? I was a TV and film major. Like, why would you go and do this when you could just, YouTube is the future.
Sneako was even featured in a video titled, I Built a Car Using Only Legos, where Jimmy, Sneako, and the guys drove around in go-karts that had Legos taped to the exterior. However, Sneako realized within a couple of weeks that he didn't fit in with the Mr. Beast crew. He realized he couldn't fully be himself, nor did he like Mr. Beast's mentality of making videos just for the sake of going viral.
That's just not what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to be somebody who could use their voice to shake the room. I'd like to have that impact and talk about politics, social issues.
Oh, that's why I don't
talk
know
about what's
him.
really going on.
Apart
And
from
that
the
just wasn't the direction of
He's a
Mr. Beast content.
politic
I think back to it. I remember wanting to make specific jokes, like jokes about Trump and Hillary, because I was working like around the first election, or the first Trump election, and afterwards he regretted like even adding those jokes. I think he edited them out because he just wanted to be clean. He wanted to be friendly for everybody.
That's why I've always disagreed with that mentality ever since I worked with Mr. Beast. He's like, I want to be #1 YouTuber. I'm like, I just want to use YouTube. YouTube was a means to an end.
You got fired?
Sure. Yeah. The video was structured around what's going to go viral. What's going to make me #1? You understand? Like, my philosophy is like, I want to express myself. Social media is an extension and a way to express yourself.
Now, this is a pretty normal realization. Sneako's vision for his own content and online persona just simply did not align with Mr. Beast's, and Jimmy likely noticed that too, so he decided to fire Sneako. And even though Sneako knew he didn't fit in, he still felt bitter about being fired. And immediately after he got home, he made an exposed video where he talked about how horrible it was working for Mr. Beast, hoping it would damage Jimmy's reputation. However, he quickly regretted the decision and removed the video from his channel.
What pissed me off after working with Mr. Beast is I always thought I was better at making videos, yet he's the one on track to be a top 10 YouTuber of all time. I got all jealous when he fired me, and I made this hate video exposing him, and then I had to delete it when I realized that he blew up because he put in work. He actually went through the effort of doing it over and over again, and I never did.
To this day, Sneako realizes it was his own ego that soured his relationship with Mr. Beast and would have done things differently if he could.
Okay, so is the cuck thing actually a joke?
Go back.
Because he didn't talk about it at all when like discussing his life, I guess.
It had literally 40 views, and I took
it's
it
like the thing he's most known for, no? So I'm guessing it was a joke, like in his community.
Down in like 20 minutes. But I talked about it a lot because I realized about doing anything for attention, like
I was really upset about getting fired, and I had this like sense of pride, and I always had a lot of belief. Like, I know that I'm the best. Like, I know I'm the I'm the best YouTuber, blah blah blah.
Sure.
And then seeing him surpass it just f- my head. And so I'd like to talk about that because I think it's a good example of how your ego can be your downfall. But no one saw the video, and the video I don't think it was that bad. But just to go behind his back and like do something resentful because I got fired.
Just basically got fired.
Was just not the right way to act.
Is there any bridges that you burnt that you regret and you think, you know what, actually, I'd want to still be cool with this guy? Or you good?
Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
That was one that I didn't need to. I didn't need to do that, but
well, you put a video up and then he just deleted it straight away.
Yeah, no one saw it, but
well, that's good.
He saw it.
He saw it.
Yeah, it had like 20. I think barely. No one saw it but him. Yeah, and so you can't go back from that.
You don't think he'd ever forgive you?
I wouldn't.
What's interesting is that Sneako is the only former Mr. Beast friend who put the blame on himself. He wholeheartedly admitted to being jealous, bitter, and even attempting to expose Mr. Beast for his own gain. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone else who ever spoke out against Jimmy is lying. It's just that the pure transparency is super rare. Sneako being able to recognize his own flaws, then learn from them and keep pushing forward is what allowed him to build his own fan base and not live in the shadow of Mr. Beast. The same can not be said for Mr. Bro, which is the blood brother of Mr. Beast who failed miserably at becoming a YouTuber. CJ Donaldson would make the occasional appearance in his brother's videos, such as I bought an expensive car using only $1 bills, and in this video specifically we can see Mr. Beast directly calling for viewers to demand CJ to make a channel of his own.
Alright guys, today we're gonna do a brother reveal. This is my brother. Come here. Don't be camera shy. Okay. See him? Hey, tell him to make a YouTube channel. He's at college and he's gonna have like a horrible job with it.
Considering at this point Mr. Beast had dedicated half of his life to YouTube and had undeniably built an extremely successful business from it, it's no surprise that he wanted his brother to have the same success that he did. And he was in the perfect position to help him get there. He had the experience, he had the knowledge, and
it's just personality, right? Like, it doesn't matter how much help you get. If you don't have the personality, it doesn't matter.
And the money to get a separate channel off the ground. And eventually, CJ agreed to give YouTube a shot.
Hey everyone, my name is CJ. I'm Mr. Beast's unknown brother, and we're gonna see what happens. So I used to work at Walmart, but now I've decided to take a leap of faith, just like my brother did, and start my YouTube career. With Jimmy's mindset with giving money away.
Okay, I see the problem. The problem is he's labeled himself as Mr. Beast the brother. He doesn't have an actual identity out of himself, right?
Being a philanthropist, doing all the great things that he does every single day to make a difference in people's lives. I have that same mindset, and I also want to do the same thing, just like
I'm just like him. Oh, I'm his brother.
My brother.
Initially, his channel was doing extremely well, with his first 4 videos racking up nearly 20 million views combined. But there was a problem with the Mr. Bro channel that couldn't be ignored, and CJ said it best himself.
Unfortunately, I'm poor. So I decided to do a dumbed down version of my brother's videos.
The Mr. Bro channel was essentially nothing more than a cheap knockoff of the Mr. Beast channel. Last to leave tree wins $10,000. I spent 24 hours in a pool of ramen noodles. I Ubered to the North Pole. Not only were these videos essentially direct rip-offs of videos that Mr. Beast had already made, but they were objectively less interesting concepts and their execution was far worse. Not only were the video concepts the same, but many of the people featured in the videos were just Mr. Beast crew members. In fact, one of the most frequent special guests of the channel is Chandler's brother, Zach. The thumbnails were the same, the profile picture was the same, even the name itself, Mr. Bro.
I said he's just trying. He built his brand on just being the brother.
Makes it sound like a spin-off of the Mr. Beast brand rather than its own unique channel. And maybe I'm looking too deep into all of this, but as time progressed, it seems like he even physically started looking more like his brother with his hairstyle and clothes.
Short hair. People can grow their hair. Not really. Come on. Not really.
I guess Mr. Bro is just straight up copying his brother now. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mr. Bro. Same. He's literally just a budget Mr. Beast. He's not even trying to be different. Everything about his channel is a copy. The banner, the icon, and what he does. He just got a free ticket to fame because of his brother. Mr. Bro's first video was uploaded in August of 2019, but not even 2 years later, CJ already abandoned the channel entirely. He did end up creating a new YouTube account where he uploaded Minecraft challenge content, but he also stopped posting videos after less than a year of uploads. It's hard to say that CJ quit YouTube due to a lack of success. In reality,
it's also possible that he just got bored, right? It's like, I'm not actually interested in this.
I just don't think CJ
because the YouTube videos for Minecraft weren't really that bad, right? Like the viewership and all.
Shared the same love for YouTube that his brother has. Everyone who stood beside Mr. Beast, childhood friends, collaborators, employees, even his own brother, eventually reached the same realization. Being friends with Jimmy is not the same as being friends with a normal guy. Some left quietly, some left bitter.
I don't know about that realization. Come on. It's not.
Some left confused, but they were all replaceable, and they were replaced. Because in Mr. Beast's world, friendship doesn't actually have to be real. It just has to look real for the video. The same exact thing can be said about David Dobrik, who literally built his entire channel around his friends. Only later we would discover many of those friendships weren't exactly what we thought they were. But if you want to hear more about that, check out this video.
Alright. Holy shit, it's been 2 hours. Fuck. I'm gonna put the video in the description, or the link for the video, in case you wanna see it. I actually have something to do right now, so that... Peace. Have a good day.